Hey guys, DeeDee here, and I am so excited to be here for Donna Downey Studios and her artist gang, and I am sharing some tips and tricks and techniques on playing with Craypaws Oil Pastels by Sakura of America. And this first video here is a resist technique, and I've decided to do all my Craypaws videos. There are 5 of them in the series. I've decided to do them all on tags, and just so that my brain is not really like focusing necessarily about the finished outcome, but more about sort of playing with these and seeing what happens. So I've already done this technique twice before, and I was getting really frustrated because I didn't feel like I could really make it work. And then at the very end of the second try, I finally figured out how to make it work. So I started over and I just put down a tag. I covered it in gesso, and then I used my white Craypaw oil pastel to create some stripes in my background. And I just scribbled them, and I very specifically made them kind of scribbly and fun and textural in the background. And then I got out some golden high flow acrylic and in this beautiful teal color. And I put that down, and then using some water, I spread it around and made sure that it covered the entire part of the tag. So what was happening in my other two, when I would try to wipe away where the oil pastel was, I couldn't get it to wipe away. It was just staying in the background. But I realized that if I heated it after the acrylic was dry and I heated the oil pastel, then it had that sort of like creamy, almost wet-like, sort of like, I don't even know, substance to it, or like, it just was. It was creamy and it was warm, and I was able to wipe it away. So I thought that was really, really cool. So that's how this resist technique works. You put down whatever. I used a white oil pastel, and I scribbled those stripes in the background, and then I did my acrylic work on top of it. Then after the acrylic was dry, I came back with a heat gun and heated that oil pastel so it was like creamy and warm, and I was able to wipe it away with the paper towel or a baby wipe. And so then it creates complete resist, and whatever was underneath that acrylic is what shows through. And it's really, really cool. And if you already know that that's how it works, man, kudos to you, because I thought that between oils and acrylics, because oils are oil-based and acrylics are water-based, that I would just be able to simply wipe it away, and that was not working. But that's all right. I figured it out, and I'm super excited to share that with you, and definitely to use this in some other things. Like, I'm fairly certain I'm going to incorporate this into some art journaling and things coming up. So awesome. Awesome stuff. That's mostly the technique with the oil pastel on this piece, so you don't even have to stick around if you don't want to, but I'm going to show you how I finished this tag. I wanted to see if the acrylics or anything acted kind of funny now that I had sort of had that oil around them. This is all totally experimentation for me. I have played with oil pastels in the past, but it was strictly an oil pastel based drawing. And by in the past, I mean like 15 years ago, like something crazy, when I was taking an art class in high school. So I didn't know. I didn't know what was going to happen when I started mixing oils with my water-based products, and I just wanted to see. So then I put some more acrylics kind of around it, and then I came in with a paint marker that is Sharpie, water-based, and I did some mark making with that. I did some stitching around the tag with some black thread, and I put a piece of muslin at the top. Almost all the time, if my tags don't have something through the hole, then I feel a little weird. So sometimes I even just cover it up. Like in this case, I put a big fat X over it with a piece of muslin, and that was pretty cool. I do have a piece of Unwild Studio chipboard here that I am covering in acrylic gesso. It is the Liquitex brand, and I'm applying it with my fingers. It kind of depends on what technique I'm going for, but in this case, I really wanted to get the look that I get when I use my fingers instead of a brush. When you use a brush, you get brush strokes, and I do love brush strokes. I'm not saying that brush strokes are bad. I just wasn't going for them on this piece. I wanted something that was a little more smooth and almost like plastic or porcelain-like in finish when it was done. So by using my fingers, I just keep a more organic feel to the finish. Yeah, that seems like a good interpretation of why I use my finger. I've been doing these videos for a while, different kinds of videos, and sometimes I don't exactly know how to get my thoughts across. But so when I figure it out, I like to compliment myself. Apparently. P.S. Thanks for being here and sticking through that. I know sometimes I get a little DeeDee-ish in here. If you are new to my videos, please feel free to pop on over to my YouTube channel and you can subscribe and see some other videos I've done. If you guys are watching this on my channel, please pop over to Donna Downey's channel. Check out her shop. She has amazing classes. All kinds of really, really crazy cool stuff is happening at Donna Downey Studios. And if you ever get a chance, visit her, you know, in North Carolina, because it's a really amazing experience. So after that gesso has dried, I wanted to add in some color. I didn't want the bike, this is a little penny farthing, a vintage penny farthing. I did not want it to be completely white because then I felt like it would take away from that really cool background, that resist technique that I had finally achieved. So I did add in some gray. I think it's actually, I'm trying to remember, I'll have to double check, but this paint mixture is coming out of my fine liner, which means that it's half airbrush medium and half fluid acrylic. I'm just trying to decide if it's the gray that I made or if it's black. It's the gray, so it's part titanium white fluid acrylic and part carbon black fluid acrylic by Golden, and then airbrush medium inside my fine liner there. And I'm just using it and a brush with some water to add some texture and dimension to the bike, to add some color and kind of, it's funny, but I'm washing away the bright, stark whiteness that it had. And I'm going to use some 3D gel here to apply my bike to the tag down in the corner. And then this little clay face, so I totally am down and totally dig artists supporting artists. It's really cool to me that Donna reaches out to different artists to have on her blog also, like Find Out Fridays and all kinds of different things. So, and this, like, I haven't been on the Artist Gang for a while now, and I'm super honored to be sort of back as sort of like a guest and just sharing cool things. So I bring that up because that little face right there that I use, this clay face, that is by another artist named Mary Lawsonak. So she makes these faces, like hundreds of them at a time. They're very cool. She presses these little clay faces and then she draws in their features. Is that not the coolest thing ever? And you know what? It's one less thing I have to do. Not that I don't want to. I actually think it would be kind of fun to sit down and make a few of those, but she makes such beautiful ones and they have so much life to them. I barely ever do anything to them. I almost just use them just like they are, which is very rare for me. I did use a white Sharpie to give it some cute little cheeks, and then I'm going to use a Stabilo Marxol to do some scribbling around my tag. It really accents the stitching that I did, and then also it kind of like just helps frame in the piece, and it adds a really great dimensional, like faux dimensional layer, I guess I could say. So it's just fake texture. And I say fake texture because it's not three-dimensional. It's just some fun scribbles in the background. And then here's the tag finished. I did some stitching at the top that I'm totally not going to make you sit through. I tied some French knots. I sewed on some buttons and call this one done. So this was video 1 in the series. I've done 2 series, and each one has 5 videos. So stick around. You'll see what else I've done with some Cray Paws. Subscribe to my channel. Find Donna. Subscribe to hers. Or if you're on Donna's, find me. Subscribe to me. Awesome having you here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, pop them below. I will try really hard to visit and answer them. Thank you so much, you guys.